your generation is one of the lower participatory groups in many ways. You're going to go back now having experienced this and all the education you've had. What's the killer argument you're going to make to your fellow students of why they should be engaged in politics?
Well, it's important to be engaged in politics because the policies of our government really do establish the way we live.
Also adding to that, we should all know what's going on and be involved because we are the government. It is we the people. It is the people like us that make up our government. The government is there for us, and so we are the ones that make it up, and so we need to actually know what's going on and be able to discern for ourselves.
My colleague's absolutely correct because now that we're all 18 and we can vote, we have the responsibility as an informed voter to actually go to the polls and take action to make sure that what is going on in our government is fair and just.
Yes. Would you expand a little bit on the other ways in which people can be involved besides voting? Because we know that our record of the number of people who vote is really not something to brag about.
I feel another way in which citizens can participate within the government is to speak out to the injustices noted in society as seen through civil disobedience in the civil rights movement, in which Martin Luther King Jr., when he was in Birmingham jail, said that it is the very right of the people to look to higher conscience to when the government is violating our fundamental rights.
I really think that volunteering and actually going out into your community plays a very important role. For example, at our school, we get the privilege to go out every Thursday morning for 2 hours and serve agencies in our community. I go to a place called Central Christian School where I help the teachers with their children and help them grade papers. I think that that's one way that we can make a huge difference in our community.
And I know we keep coming back to this, but just this very forum and just sort of the things that we do here, just being civically educated and knowing how our government works and what it can and cannot do, and just knowing that is just one of the best ways we can actually get involved.
I think we're going to be really short of time, but middle class, there's a middle class gap in wealth, and that sort of transcends into inability to get to college. Are there ways that the United States can push to get more students into college so that we can have that kind of greater opportunity that Tocqueville has discussed? 2 seconds. Well, one of these
Save
ways.
it, Bill. Save it, Bill.
I'm sometimes close.
Well, that was a very spirited and enjoyable discussion. I appreciated your reference to Putnam. You may have taken that a little bit farther because he's been criticized, for looking at old style associations like the Elks and Moose and
Yeah, correct.
not the 4-footed kind. I particularly like the reference to the ways in which opportunities for increased participation and engagement. You cited the 14th Amendment. You talked about due process and its relationship. You cited Brown as another one. I also liked your Age of Jackson reference and how that related to the right of association. You had some very good specific examples. Women, the kickoff at Seneca Falls, and of course that shows what an observant group you are, you see, because you realize you had one female judge here and you had a chance to get a zinger out that you knew would resonate. Boy Scouts was another good example that you had. The Bakke case, another one. When you have not only a statement of a general principle or a general trend, and you can nail it down with a specific instance, a specific event, a specific case, that's really very good scholarship, and we appreciated that.
Thank you.
I also appreciated the cases. I think they were appropriately used. Sometimes we get cases thrown at us, and people, it wasn't always clear that people know what they mean and why they fit, and I think you did a nice job on that. You kind of whet my appetite at the beginning and said that your group split on the Tocqueville quote. I would have liked to have you explore that a little bit more in terms of what was the basis for the split, and perhaps which of you came out on which side of that split. Take a look around you. You know that you're among a very small group of people, you know, much less than a percentage who've ever testified in a room such as this. And I hope that you recognize what the accomplishment is of you getting here today and doing this. And I hope that you'll be back, you know, perhaps not as the incriminated, but as the enlightened who can tell these folks who sit up here, you know, what's going on in the country. I think you're on the right trajectory to become an active citizen.
Yeah, and you know, great job. You know, pointing out the fact that you guys are now 18, all able to vote. You know, a lot of the founders of the Constitution were, I think the average age was probably 42, and of course Jackson or Madison was I think he was in his 30s, and so it was an important, remarkable thing at the time. And you guys are all very remarkable students. You know, I like the start discussing. Because the question actually asks how it compares to other democracies, and so bringing out sort of the statistics, and I guess I'm the numbers guy, so I kind of like the numbers, but discussing the statistics and how they impact this question. I think I would like to hear, actually, and just to close, just that I appreciated the thought that we should, I think it was your question about what should we do about the Tea Party movement. Because I'm a politician. I get bashed all the time from both sides for being too liberal or too conservative. And so this is a group that to discuss the tolerating and inviting that sort of comment and that dialogue. I think is really an important thing to take away from this discussion. So great job.